What dance was that?
I don't know. I just made it up. It's a Fortnite dance.
Oh, wow.
I did. Hello, is this Bill? Bill,
Yeah.
how are you, Paul? Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. We have Tommy in the studio.
Hey, what's going on, Bill? How you doing, bud?
Oh, not too bad. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. So glad to have you on the show. The idea behind the podcast and radio show is to spread happiness to the world through the joys of fishing. And for those of you listening in online and for the podcast, Bill is a subscriber with a B.
Wow, I'm glad you were able to spit that out correctly this time.
I often drop the B and add an S. I say subscriber. And I don't really know why I do that. I think it sounds better, or maybe it flows.
No,
I don't know.
We had a company meeting, and we came to the conclusion that you're not allowed to use words that you can't pronounce.
Well, Shakespeare did it. He made up words.
You're not Shakespeare, believe me.
And so I make up my own words for everybody's entertainment. Why can't it be like, why do I have to be talked to about my speech when people love it? I can drop an S.
Hey, as long as it's about fishing, it's all good, right?
Yeah. Although he would mispronounce the word fish, I'm sure. He's like,
I can spell it differently. It's Phish.
Wow,
fish.
Go you.
I mean, that's just the language.
Spelling bee champion. All right, Bill, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you back. Glad to have you on here. And
Bill's been with us for a long time. He's often sharing photos with us on our Outsider Tackle Box Facebook page.
Yes, he is.
And he's given us a good review. So thank you very much.
Yes.
We live and die by the reviews, believe it or not. So thank you. We appreciate all that you do for us. And we want to hear about the photos that you sent in. We have. We want to know maybe the location of the fish, what bait you're using, and if you know the size, that would be good for us to find out. So this is your podcast. Let's hear about your fish photo, and it looks like you have your fishing buddy there. I know that's your son, and so let's hear your fish story.
Well, I've actually got 5 kids, 3 of which I've got into fishing already, and we always go out and have a good time, even if we get skunked. But that's a rare occasion.
Yeah.
I've been a subscriber for Outsider Tackle Box for at least 6 months now.
Nice.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I really like the tackle you guys send. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but I also have a subscription to one of your guys' competition boxes, and you guys are just killing them.
That's perfectly fine. I mean,
that's how we started too. So
we're not here to limit anybody. So
yeah.
No.
Well, like I said, I've got 5 kids that I'm getting into fishing, so I'm trying to stock their tackle boxes as well as mine. And man, you guys just put out a lot of good baits. I left a review on your page specifically about the Bait Labs Ultimate Strike minnows, and those things are great. I love those. I actually got a second package a few months later of the smaller ones, and they're just as good. I use them for trailers on chatterbaits and swim jigs and things like that, and the fish just can't seem to stay away from it. It's been a while since I've been skunked, actually. But
and you know what? The good story behind those, I didn't. I was hesitant when Tommy said, "Let's get this in our box," and it was because of the scent. It was nothing. I mean, the presentation is great, the packaging, and but it was the squid scent that I wasn't sure. I didn't want to confuse people when they saw squid scent, but really, it's actually.
It actually is one of the top baits.
We get a lot of good feedback from that, and that's one of the things that I have to say to Tommy. He did well, and I don't often give him praise.
One of the few times.
That's a good one. That supplier actually is from Germany. It's one of our German suppliers. Our boxes are available out there as well, and so. Yeah, those things travel a long way to catch fish, and apparently that catches fish anywhere. So if you're traveling, this is the bait to use.
Oh yeah, they work great, and they hold up to big bites too. They don't break in half like some of the other swim baits that I've tried, and I'm really anxious. They've got new products that aren't available here yet, but I'm patiently waiting. They've got some vibrating jigs and some craws that I'm waiting to hit the United States too. So.
Oh yeah.
As are we.
We're waiting for those too.
Yeah, we've gotten a few samples. I mean, I'm looking at them now, and Yeah, we should probably get some of those. That's Tommy's. He's in charge of that, so we never know when we're gonna get something.
Much like the radio show. I just kind of work at my own leisure.
No, it takes a while. I mean, that's a process. I mean, I do know that. It's hard. I give you a hard time,
Right.
Tommy, but I know the supply part of it is
Yeah.
purchasing is never. You think it would be fun, like I'm a purchaser, but it's not. It's not.
You're always trying to find something new, something fun, and something like people
Yeah.
like Bill would
I'm
like.
I'm not sure what all goes into your guys' purchasing with your suppliers and whatnot, but you guys do a top-notch job. I can't complain about anything. I've been happy with every box that I've had, so
Awesome.
We're happy to hear
I
that.
can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm personally happy to hear that. So that's awesome. I thank you. But I mean, we're glad to have you here on the podcast, on the radio show. We're glad to have you as a subscriber.
And it's a little cold over there right now. Is it? How's the fishing currently? Are you doing a little ice fishing, or is it not?
I haven't gotten a chance to go fishing this last week because of work. We've had a lot of mandatory overtime, and I work 12-hour shifts, and it's right before Christmas, so that comes in handy. But it's in the mid-20s right now, and it's pretty cold. My kids are strictly summertime fishermen for right now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
They're not into
understand
the
it.
whole freezing.
I think I would. You know what? It's hard to get my kids out there too, even when the weather's good. So
yeah,
I completely understand
Yeah,
that.
it's important to keep the trips kind of short with smaller kids. You know that once they start getting impatient and are ready to leave, it starts not being fun for them. So I don't want to turn them away. So we usually go out on a 2 or 3 hour boat trip and just have a good time.
yeah, no, definitely, and it to quote another. Actually, he's a supplier for us as well. His name is James Heisterman. He actually said one time, and it stuck with me, we got to get kids off of Xboxes and back into tackle boxes. And that
I do like that quote. I thought you were maybe going to quote like a book or something, and I was almost impressed.
I can't read. I'm just joking. No, but yeah, I mean that I'm a big supporter of trying to get keeping kids fishing and keeping them out there because it's so easy nowadays for kids to get caught up in the electronics and stuff, and it's just fun to get them.
Oh yeah, I'm really big about keeping my kids off electronics as much as possible. I mean, they have tablets and things to do their homework on, but I don't like to let them sit in front of a screen for too long. That just kills their childhood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, because when they look back at it, they're going to sit back and go, what did I do? And it's like, you want them to have those memories of like, my dad used to take me fishing, or we used to do this and we used to do that. Same memories we have of our parents, you know what I mean? So
that's
oh
awesome.
yeah, some of my fondest memories were my dad taking me fishing. My dad was the one that actually turned me on to bass fishing, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's just one of my favorite pastimes. It seems like no matter how much stress or whatever bad's going on in the world, I can go out and hit the water with some baits and catch some fish, and everything seems all right.
Exactly. It doesn't. The things aren't as bad as you thought they were. I mean, the first person that took me out was he's an uncle of mine, and I thank him for it all the time. I mean, and we used to go out, and it was funny watching him because he was one of those like stressed out fishermen. Like everything, he'd end up falling in the water and like cursing and yelling, and we're just like, we just laugh. We just thought it was hilarious. Well, as
long as he's having fun while doing it, right?
Oh, but he was always ready the next time, like, hey, let's go fishing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm down to watch you yell and scream and kick the sand and. But
that's what it's all about. It's about fishing with family, making memories, and so fun. That's right. We wanted to capture it in the Fish Story podcast, and so
exactly.
Thank you for helping us spread happiness to the world and all the outsider listeners through the joys of fishing and the photos that you send us. Mm-hmm. And so we know that this is not the last time Bill's going to be on. We want to continue to have you on the show. We know you're busy, and so we've actually invited Bill a couple of times, and so we're happy he was able to make it this time.
It seems like we always have to play a phone tag.
Yeah.
Well, it happens. I mean, when you're really busy, and like you said, right now around Christmas time, you're busting 12-hour shifts and everything else, and you got the 5 kids. I mean, it's a busy life, man.
Right,
It's
I
not
have
easy.
2, and it just seems crazy with 2. I can't imagine. I think at some point it's just like 5 or
I have 4. So
I know.
yeah, it's
Tommy
rough.
has
It's
just
busy.
like it's just.
So I'm right there with Bill.
Yeah.
They keep you busy.
Oh yeah, that's.
But we know that it's like when you when you take a photo of a fish, like there's a story behind it, and so it's like you want to share it wherever you can because it's exciting when you pull in a fish and you take a photo and you're like, here we are, let's hear the fish story.
Yeah, and sometimes there's like a story
Right.
behind.
Well,
even-
there's the one photo I had where I was you can see I'm kind of holding the bass up in front of my kayak, and that one was probably the funniest. I was out on a small retention pond, and I was using the Ultimate Strike minnow on the back of a strike king swinging jig, and I caught him about 30 feet away from my kayak, and he started swimming towards me really fast, so I had to speed up my retrieve to catch him.
Yeah.
And then once I got him up to the kayak, he started flipping up and jumping up over the top of my kayak to the other side, and it was a good time.
Oh, that's fun. They take you for a
That
little
was the most
ride.
fun I've had in a while, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's
oh
the
yeah, once they
best.
start pulling you across the pond, then you know it's a good fish.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Bill, I mean, it's great to have you on. Again, thank you for being on the group. Thank you for being a subscriber. We'll continue to keep doing what we can do to make you guys happy and keep you guys fishing and
Include stuff that you love in the box.
Exactly.
And so we try. And from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, fish more, tight lines, and let's keep in touch.
yeah, absolutely. Have a good Saturday, bud.
All right, you too, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.